Find me a better Kreg pocket hole workstation than this. I bet you can't find it. Doesn't exist. No way, no how. I dare you. I double dog dare you. Google it. Look it up. Look it up. I dare you. Look for it. I bet you can't find it. Doesn't exist. Not better than this one. This is the Kreg Jig K4 pocket hole system. I have been wanting to put this thing on my French cleat wall for some time now. I've wanted to build a workstation that I could have and easily use and take in and off that wall. There are 5 things that I want to accomplish with this workstation. Number 1, it must hang on this French cleat wall. It's easy, grab and go. That's where I want to put all my tools, or at least as many as I can. So that's goal number 1. Goal number 2. It can't be too big and bulky. I only have so much real estate up here. I chose a 24 by 12.5 foot space that we're going to use on this wall. Now, I don't know where I'm going to put it. Probably up high. But that's what we're going with. Number 3, it must be a workstation. I want to be able to move it wherever I want. Mainly, I'll be working on this table, of course, but there'll be other workstations in the future to work on top of. Number 4, it must store the accessories. Comes with a few different accessories, stop block, spacer, drill bits, things like that. It must be able to hold these things. Now on YouTube, I have seen many different pocket hole workstations that have lots of drawers and cubbies and cabinets. I'm gonna do something a little different. I think you're gonna like where I'm going with this. Number 5, it has to have the most important thing, and that is sex appeal. And in order to have sex appeal, you gotta have a few curves. So we're gonna take this rough, square-looking piece of plywood and just add a little bit of curviness to it so we like looking at it. So stick around and watch me build this. I have my template all drawn out now on the plywood. I'm going to be using maple scrap plywood to create the wings of the workstation. You got to have a flush workstation for when you do the pocket holes. So, maple for that. But this is a full inch thick and this is 3/4 inch, so it's not going to be flush. That's why I have this MDF, 1/4 inch MDF. We're just gonna stack it on top of each other. Now you could route into it and recess it. That's just more work. It's fun, but it's more work. I think we're just gonna do it this way. Keep it real simple. For the meantime, I'm going to let those pieces dry, the wings that we cut out. You're probably asking yourself, how is he going to store the accessories on the pocket hole station? Well, the answer, Kaizen Foam. Kaizen Foam is a great material for storing tools. You cut out the outline, you pop the tool in there, and they're supposed to stay. So I went to Lowe's and got the Alpha Precision Snap-Off Knife. With this knife, I can get precision depth on all of my cuts. When cutting large pieces of the Kaizen Foam, I strongly recommend the table saw. It may seem like a bad idea in theory, but it actually cuts this like butter. The Kreg Jig has a slope to it. Slopes like this on all the sides. So what I'm gonna do is line it up just how I want it and then score a line just inside so that I can capture the slope. Score the line and then cut at probably a 10-degree angle. Let's see how the Kreg Jig takes to it. think that's a pretty good fit. It's not perfect, but you wouldn't know it by looking at it. Our plywood / MDF wings are all glued up. It's time to soften these edges just a little bit and decorate. Okay, so I lied a little white lie. And I didn't really lie to you, at least I'd like to not think so. I really lied to myself. The Kreg jig does not sit exactly flush with the wings that we're making. I thought about putting shims, but what I'm gonna do is recess this with the router like I talked about earlier. I'm gonna follow this line, the edge, as well as this line here and this square. This part in the middle I don't have to recess because it's elevated. So, let's see how it goes. That is perfect. The paint is dry enough now to work with, although we still have some more painting to do. The biggest challenge for this project is getting the Kaizen Foam to be stable and connect to the actual work piece. I'm going to secure this piece with a frame. Whenever you see Kaizen Foam on someone's wall with tools inside of it, it's always encased in a frame, and Kaizen Products sells a framing piece for that. That won't apply for this situation. I don't think their framing is gonna work, so we're gonna make our own frame. Any of the products that I use in this video, including the Kreg K4 jig, the Kaizen Foam, and anything that I use is available through the description links in my video. So click on the description, click on the link, go to Amazon, buy whatever you want. All right, let's build that frame. I used 1/2-inch brad nails to secure the 1/4-inch ply to each other. I glued them on. Now I'm going to use 1-inch brad nails to secure this along with the glue that's already there. All right, this cleat looks like it's secure. We're gonna be doing some creative things with this, but you are gonna need a support piece at the end. I just did a 3/4-inch support piece because as it sits against the wall, this acts as a support piece, but when it's down here, it's gonna need to be level and flat, otherwise that's what you get. So, I'm gonna put this on. probably wondering why I painted it so soon. Now, this is just the first coat of a part of it. And why did I do that? The answer is, I don't really have a good, I don't have a good answer. I got my order of operations a little mixed up, and I was excited to paint, but it's okay. It's not, no harm, no foul. But now it's time to get it painted. One last thing before we wrap this project up, and that is these accessories need to be cut into this Kaizen foam. Hopefully it goes well. This is the configuration setup of the accessories. I used a sample piece right here to test the depth of my blade so I don't go too deep. This is in layers, so I want to keep these last two layers. I don't want to touch those, so I'm going to go as deep as about right there. So this is the first piece I'm going to work on. It's at an angle, so it makes it more difficult. So let's see if I can accomplish this. Now, if you have a pin, you can outline this, but you have to have the right kind of pin to do it. And I do not, so we're just going to hope that we can keep it stable and steady. Now the secret to getting this out is to do the snowplow method, they call it, in which you don't just rip it out like this, you kind of get underneath the layers, but getting it started is probably the hardest part. I might go only part of the layer first, since I'm cutting this one's pretty deep. Gotta go a little deeper. Let's see how it fits though here. Might be a little tight. We can always make adjustments. I did better do it smaller first than bigger later. I think that looks pretty snug and good. I can't express to you how thrilled I am about how this turned out. The color, the look, the design, the curves. One little tip I want to give you, I brought this spacer block down to the paint store. They were able to color match it with the blue paint. All the products and tools used in this build will have an Amazon link in the video description. Click on that description, buy whatever you want. That helps support this channel and keeps it going. I'll even try to find some links to some extra Kaizen cutting materials or cutting knives and they have these cutting sets that I'm going to put in that description as well. So if you want to go above and beyond what I did and get the right tools, go for it. Thanks for joining me on this video. Click on some of the links to watch some of the other videos that I've put out. They're really great as well. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you always know when my videos are coming out. Thanks for joining me, and hey, the jig is up.